there's two things to do here. You can either find the vertex or you can find out where it hits the ground. If you find the vertex, you would have minus 64 over 2 times minus 16. That will be minus 64 divided by what? Negative 32, which would equal to 2. And that's not one of the answers, is it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is, and there could easily be an answer here. I'll put one. Okay. Or somebody will do this and circle E as the answer because they'll think, oh, I find the vertex. But that's not what the problem says to do. The problem says, after how many seconds does the object hit the ground? Well, this isn't a vertex problem at all. The ground is not the vertex of this travel. If it goes up and comes down, the ground is not the vertex. The vertex would be the max or min. The ground is precisely saying, when does this equal? And that, indeed, is solving the quadratic equation. You can do this by hand. You can factor out a 16, minus 16 of that. This will be t squared minus 4t minus 5. And then you can say t here minus 16 minus 5 plus 1. So you have t is equal to 5 and t is equal to minus 1. Time can't equal to negative 1. Doesn't make any sense. So it must hit the ground in 5 seconds. Done by hand. But you guys have something better than that, don't you? This particular calculator has the ability to do some good stuff. In particular, we wrote a program called Quad. And A is minus 16. B is what, 64? C is 80. And your answers, oh, sorry. Stop. Yours didn't have that graph thing on it. Minus 1 and 5, which is exactly what we found by hand. And 5 is the correct answer. And the last one on part A is a word problem about the area of a rectangle. For this problem, you have the length and the width only add up to be 70. Now, in the last class, I actually made a mistake here. Here's the length and the width. I was in a hurry. Always being in a hurry is bad because you, well, make silly mistakes. I thought it said that the perimeter was 70. So it'd be helpful to actually read the problem, and it says the length and the width have a sum of 70. So that means simply the length plus the width equals 70, not 2 lengths and 2 widths equal to 70, right? Just the length plus the width equals 70, which means that W is equal to 70 plus minus L when you solve for that W. Also, you can say here the length times W is the area, so the area is going to be L times W. So this will be L times 70 minus L, which means you have 70 L minus L squared, which is a parabola that opens downward and has a maximum. And the maximum occurs when L is equal to minus B over twice A, which becomes 35. So you can say this right here as your answer.
How did you get that? The L times 70.
Where?
The top or the second.
L times 70 minus L? Sorry, I guess from here. I should have probably wrote that. This is L times W equals, here's W in terms of L. So this turned into that. In reality, though, you won't see this problem on the test. You're like, well, now you tell me. Why would I not put this on the test? Okay, let's read the question again. It says to find the rectangle that has the biggest area, and it gives you all 4 dimensions. So anybody with any intelligence at all might just multiply these 2 numbers, these 2 numbers, these 2 numbers, and these 2 numbers and pick the biggest. Right? Why would you go through all that trouble? It's asking you for the one that gives you the biggest area. If this is the length and the width, what's the area? Length times width, so it's gonna be this times this, this times, so if you take all four of these things in your calculator real fast, multiply them out, see which one has the biggest number, that's gonna be the biggest rectangle with the biggest area. Okay, you don't need to do all this. Of course, if you didn't have the answers, you would have to do this, but then again, you wouldn't. Because, remember, in an open field with no rivers or barns or mountains or anything to butt up against, what shape is going to give you, as far as rectangular, a circle will give you the biggest area. But if you're forced to be in a rectangular shape, a square will always give you the biggest area. So if you take the sum of the two length and width have to be 70, then how do you make a square out of that? Cut it in half, 35 or 35. So again, you didn't have to do it for this reason. But it's nice to know that the process works, right? So you could probably not study that one. There's no way to put that on the test. I almost should put it on the test.
Okay.
I almost should put it on the test and see who gets it wrong. But that's kind of mean, right? Maybe you fill in the wrong bubble, so you better come up with some good excuse before you. Okay. Let's take a look at part B, which you haven't seen yet.
How many questions are there?
Probably 20. Okay, so if you head out to the internet, you'll find that was part A right there, and then underneath it, this is brand new review 3, part B. That's what you want, a whole bunch of these. I put 5 word bubbles on there. And of course the answers. Right.
There's gonna be 5 of these on the test?
Oh, no way. Probably not.
Oh, thank you.
Just a couple?
I'll be sad. I'm kidding. I couldn't. You set me up too good. I probably will do 2, maybe 3. One really easy one medium, one hard. So the easy one will get you blood going, thinking that you can do it. The medium one will humble you, and then the last one will frustrate you to know it, right? Isn't that my job?
No.
Does it say that under teachers? Frustrate